Good morning, friends. It's Crazy Cheap Chick. I'm back from Florida, returned to 14 and a half inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. And the cupboards are bare, so I had to run up to the grocery store, more like slide up there, and grab a few things. And while we were gone, I guess the grocery stores were just totally cleaned out. My daughter had sent me a picture of the grocery store, and the produce section was completely empty, and she had titled it, "No Veggies for You." Anyway, they were slowly stocking back up today, and I'm going to show you what I got, and then we'll talk. I think I did a pretty good job before I left of trying to get rid of stuff so I wouldn't lose anything. And there's some carrots and onion. No, that lettuce may not be good. I battled the snow-packed roads to get up to the grocery store and buy some groceries because the cupboard is bare. We've been gone a week down in Florida, and I needed some stuff. So I spent $120.58 pre-tax. Now Kansas, the state of Kansas, stopped charging sales tax on food finally, starting on January 1st. But as you can see, I was still charged $3.50 tax. That would be the city and county. They're still charging tax. So you save a little bit, but it's not a ton. But every little bit helps. I'm grateful. So I'm going to run through real quick what I got for my 120 bucks, and then we'll talk about what I plan on making. This milk was $3.39, and this half and half was $5.49, about the same price as usual, regular price. I did get a cantaloupe, and it's gigantic. It's a gigantic cantaloupe for $3.49. Most of them were about half this size, and I just couldn't resist it. Then I did get some sweet potatoes. They were $1.23 for two of them. And I got broccoli. All of this broccoli was $2.78. That's a ton of broccoli. These eggs, I've got to be careful with them because they're so valuable. 12 eggs, $3.99. Isn't that crazy? That's the sale price. Eggs here are normally, I don't know, around $5 for a carton. I usually get them from my friend who has chickens, but right now her chickens aren't laying, and I don't blame them. It's so cold, I'd take a break too. Cherries were on sale for $3.99 a pound. This must have been almost a pound. It was $4.31. And I got a bunch of tomatoes. Now, I don't know how they divided it out. I think I had a whole bunch of tomato coupons. And so I think this package rang up $1.74 and this package rang up $2.49. These tomatoes are not very heavy. They were $1.99 a pound. There must have been enough in coupons to cover these tomatoes because there was no charge that I could see. And I didn't check myself out. I let someone else do it today because I'm tired after my trip. Then I got this gigantic head of cauliflower for $3.29. So when it's not sold by the pound, it's sold by the item. Make sure you get the biggest one you can, like that cauliflower and that cantaloupe. Then this roast was on sale. I paid $15.99 for it. I actually think it was about $3 less than that because I had a coupon that came off at the end. And this was expensive. It wasn't marked down. $7.21 is a regular price. This is that, sliced thin beef for like stir fry. Then they had avocados on sale. Most of them are as hard as a rock. I could throw it at someone and kill them. They're that hard. There's maybe a couple of them we can use within the next 3 days or so. And then the other 3 are going to have to ripen up a little bit. But they were all like that. And that's life in Kansas. Don't normally buy seasoning mixes. I really kind of think it's a waste of money. But I am so exhausted from my trip and feeling lazy that I bought 2 packages of this beef and broccoli seasoning mix. It was on sale, 99 cents. It's normally $1.19, so I picked it up. I usually buy my cheese when it's on sale. This cheese right here was $5.99 for 32 ounces, and $5.99 for that. That'll last us a very long time on cheese. And then these pizzas were on sale for $2.99. You could buy up to 5. I just got 2. We don't normally eat this, but my grandson and an employee are here helping us dig out snow, and I wanted to feed them lunch. And so I got these pizzas, and that's what we had for lunch. These boxes are actually empty. They're show boxes. The vegetables were $1 a package. They're normally slightly more than that. That's a sale price. I got 2 corn and 2 peas. And then this is the mistake I made today. We all make mistakes, right? I thought this was $3.99 for a package, and it was. But you had to load a coupon. I thought I had loaded it, and I guess I didn't, because these all ring up $4.99 a package. Anyway, it cost me $3. I'll survive. This cubed stuffing, Pepperidge Farm, they had this on clearance before I went on vacation. It was on clearance for $1.19. And then I come back from vacation, and it's marked down to 50 cents. The sell-by date is July 2025, July 27th, 2025. So I've got 6 months to eat up this stuffing mix, which won't be hard because I love stuffing. I really like it. Then they had a bunch of corn muffin mix on clearance for 27 cents. It's normally 59 cents. And it is good until September 10th, 2025. At least that's the best if used by date. You know, I don't really pay much attention to expiration dates. This pancake and waffle mix, because it was crushed, maybe there was a little tear in the box, I don't know, was $1.18. It's normally $2.19. It was actually on sale this week for $1.99. But anyway, saved a little bit of money there. Every little bit helps. 2 big things of lettuce, $2.66. I'm going to go over to my daughter's house on Saturday night for dinner. And I told her if she would make chili, she makes really good chili, I would make a big salad and cinnamon rolls. And so one of these packages is going to be for the salad I take to her house. I had this coconut milk light for $1.71, normally $2.99. Yellow cornmeal for $1.10. It's normally $1.99. So if I run out of the cornbread mix, I can make my own cornbread. This French onion dip was marked down to 90 cents. I don't know what it normally is. Probably around $3.99. It probably, I don't know what the date on this is. January 15th, and today is the 9th. So I'll find something to use that in next week. This aspartame sweetener was marked down to $2.28. It's normally $3.99 at Dillon's. When I buy this stuff, I usually buy it at Walmart. Like every 6 months, I'll go buy 6 packages. I worry a little bit about it. I know a lot of people think it's very unhealthy. I've even asked my doctor, hey, what do you think about me using Equal? And this is what my doctor said. Well, there's no studies showing it's harmful yet. That doesn't mean there won't be a study in the future that doesn't prove it's harmful. It is a chemical. It's unnatural. I mean, he wasn't necessarily for it. Then he goes, but there's a ton of studies showing how unhealthy it is to be fat. So I guess he was saying until a study comes out definitively saying this is bad, keep using it. It's better than being overweight. Anything in a red net bag, of course, is 99 cents. So I got 8 apples for $1.98, 2 bags of little potatoes for $1.98. But you know, 1 package is a meal for John Wayne and I. 3 turnips for 99 cents. And 6 cucumbers for $1.98, 99 cents a package. Now, John Wayne and I are really trying to cut out processed food, and it's not going to be easy. There was a ton of processed foods today on clearance that I could have picked up that I passed up. And I kept telling myself, just because it's cheap just doesn't mean you have to buy it. Don't buy it. It's not healthy. I bought a few things, but not a lot. So obviously, Pizza's not good. This is a processed food. This is a processed food. This is a processed food. This processed food. Processed food. But overall, if you can eat at least 80% good, and that's what I'm trying for. If I can just hit 80% good, then I'll be way ahead of most Americans. And each week, hopefully I get better and better. Now, what are we going to eat this week? Well, we might have this roast with some mashed potatoes and stuffing. And when I cook something like this, I usually get 2 or 3 meals out of it. We might have a roast one night, and then the next night I might make vegetable soup out of it. Or we might have roast beef sandwiches with it. So something this big for 2 people will make 2 or 3 meals. This I bought specifically for beef and broccoli. So this and that broccoli, that's for tonight, and I'm going to make some rice to go with it. That is some delicious looking broccoli beef, and I even put sesame seeds on for fanciness. I wanted to have plenty of stuff for salads because I need to eat more salad. And I might make mashed cauliflower out of this cauliflower. I don't know. Some of it's definitely going to go in salads, though, as well as the avocados. When you have hamburger, you have the basis for a lot of stuff. We could have meatloaf and corn and peas. We could have sweet potatoes as a side. I could make a goulash. I could make soup out of hamburger, you know, all kinds of soups that you use hamburger in. So I think we're going to do pretty good. Well, friends, John Wayne and I had a great time in Florida. It was 76 degrees 2 or 3 days, and the whole time we were gone, it was snowing at home, and that always makes it even better when you're in a warm place escaping snow and cold. But we came home to a lot of snow, and John Wayne has been spending a lot of time trying to dig us out. We weren't sure we were going to be able to get in the driveway when we got home, but John Wayne just gunned it and went through the wall of snow that the county had plowed in front of our driveway and plowed us right up to the front door. I don't know how he did it, but we made it. Get a picture of you getting stuck.
Nothing gets stuck.
You didn't get stuck. You drove right up. Leave Florida at 11 o'clock and get home here. Oh my gosh. Couple of foot of snow. Ah, lovely. Well, we had 14.5 inches of snow while we were gone. And there's John Wayne. He's out there trying to dig us out. Well, John Wayne spent all day shoveling the driveway, all the sidewalks, and supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow tonight. So Nana has never made her own instant cocoa mix before. So this is kind of an experiment, but I think we can do it. So we're going to start with 2 cups powdered sugar. All right, 2 cups of powdered sugar. All right, now we're going to do 1 cup cocoa. Okay, now add 1 cup of cocoa. Can you do that? Yeah, dump it in here. Yeah. Good job. Excellent. Now we're going to add 2 cups of instant powdered milk, which is, Papa had to drink this when he was a little kid, and he really hated it because it doesn't taste the same as milk. That's 1 cup of powdered milk, and we're going to have to get another cup. All right, go ahead. That's our 2nd cup of powdered milk. I think a lot of recipes don't add this, but I'm going to add it. It's a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Good job. All right, now some recipes call for something called vanilla powder, but I don't have any vanilla powder. And so we're going to use this vanilla bean paste.
Yummy.
So it looks like that. Smell it. You want to smell it? It smells pretty good, doesn't it?
I guess you have that.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of it. You want to add it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
And I think it would be good to add a little instant coffee.
Instant coffee?
I think so. We're gonna try it. I'm making up this recipe. I didn't copy this from someone else. We're making it up as we go.
Definitely making a mess.
Yeah, we are kind of making a mess. All right, so this is probably about a teaspoon of instant coffee.
So am I gonna put all of it?
Yeah, put it all in.
No.
Yeah. Now let's.
No trick.
You get it? Oh, don't slide your chair too far. We've got our lid on, so you can go ahead and press that button. It goes down.
Oh.
Just like this. Yeah, you're doing a good job. How's it looking?
Good. It smells good.
It smells good? Yeah, so we have some of these mini chocolate chips. Let's go ahead and put a few of those in there too. Go ahead and pour them in.
All?
Well, not all of them. Maybe a few though. More than that. A little bit more. A little bit more. That's probably good right there. Go ahead. That's what our mix looks like. What's it smell like? It smells pretty good. How's it smell?
Pretty good.
All right. I think we put about 2 tablespoons in a cup. Let's try that. Probably a couple of those in each cup. That's a lot of marshmallows. How is it?
Good.
Does it taste like just a hot chocolate out of a package?
No.
What's it taste like? Better? In Florida, they just had hurricanes. And it's not like the damage we saw in Georgia when we went to do disaster relief. I mean, that damage is overwhelming. But even Florida had a lot of damage where we were in Clearwater Beach. The tourist areas were pretty well cleared up. But if you pulled off into a neighborhood, about every third house had a big dumpster in front full of stuff. A lot of the houses were unoccupied or blue tarps on roofs. Lots and lots of damage. Once again, going to take months to repair, which got me thinking about disasters because you never know when a disaster will hit you. When we were flying home from Florida, the man sitting behind me on the airplane was talking. I couldn't help but overhear what he was saying. He was trying to get home because he was 99% sure that his house was gone. His fiance and kids, which I'm not sure if the kids were dogs or actual children, but his fiance and kids had evacuated and they were in an area that he said he's pretty sure the house was gone and they had just bought it. And I turned around and talked to him and expressed my condolences. It's so sad. And he didn't even know for sure yet, and he was just desperately trying to get back to California. So none of us know when something will occur, which got me to thinking about a conversation I had recently with a lady I met. She was from Baxter Springs, Missouri, which is down near Joplin. So I got talking to her about the Joplin tornado because she was so close to that disaster area. And they weren't affected where they lived, but of course they saw the damage. They had gone over and done a lot of work also. And we got talking about that tornado, and she said, you know what the bad thing is? She said, here, years later, because it's been like 10, 12 years, I can't remember what year that was. She said, people are coming down with all kinds of weird lung diseases, which they say are related to the tornado because of all the insulation and asbestos and dirt and mold and everything that was in the air that people were breathing for months after the tornado. And I kind of thought, I don't know about that. I looked it up, 100% true. All kinds of lung diseases in that area, which they are attributing to that tornado and the things that were in the air. And another thing that she said, kind of interesting, was she said after the tornado, she said it was the most unique smell. I had never smelt anything like that before. And I'm like, well, what did it smell like? And she's like, well, it's hard to describe, but it was like fresh sawed wood, mown grass, mold, and she named several things, and she said if I ever smelled it again I would recognize it, but she said I have never smelled it since then or had ever smelled it up until then. And so that tornado left a unique smell, and it was all those things in the air. Well, after I had that conversation with her, it got me to thinking, because that's probably my number one risk is tornadoes. And I went out and, well, actually I ordered them online, but I got some more masks. And I don't think it's a bad idea to have masks on hand, because you never know when you're going to need one. Out there in California with the wildfires, after a tornado, we're at risk of wildfires here in Kansas too. We didn't used to have them, but anymore we're starting to have them. And just, you only have two lungs. And I want to keep mine good. And so I thought it's just a good idea to always have masks on hand. You just never know what's going to happen where you might need a mask. And it's not necessarily anything to do with disease or illness. There's too many other things that could affect you. So I bought a couple more boxes of masks just to have them on hand. But as John Wayne told me, you cannot prepare for every single event that might occur. You just do the best you can and hope for the best. There's no way to eliminate all risk, right? After I got back from my trip, I was really missing my grandkids. And so they came over and spent the night. And kids will do something like this. They'll walk in your house and they'll look around. Where's that picture I gave you? What picture are you talking about, honey? There was a horse, and it was a sunny day, and there were mountains in the background, and I was holding your hand, and there was a carpet of flowers in front of us and a river flowing through it, and I put some parrots up in the air. That picture. Now, I drew this picture, but this would be like the level of picture they're talking about. And it got me to thinking, when do we lose our imagination? When you're children, you can just see so much and imagine so much, and you draw a picture like this, and you put so much detail in there, and the adults can't see it, but you can. Because at some point, it seems like we lose a lot of our ability to imagine. Now, as always, if you stick around to the end, I tell you a little story. I do not like riding on airplanes. I'm scared of airplanes. And the plane down to Florida was particularly turbulent. And we were bouncing up and down pretty good. And one flight, they couldn't do the drink service because the stewardesses had to stay in their seats. And the last leg was really rough. And I wasn't sitting next to John Wayne. He was sitting behind me. And so when we would have heavy turbulence, he would reach up from the back and hold my hand, which just shows what a good, sweet husband he is, because he knows how terrified I am of airplanes. Anyway, it was a pretty rough flight, and it reminded me of the worst airplane flight I'd ever been on, and probably the closest I've ever come to dying that I'm aware of. When I worked for the government, one time me and some other people were flying from Topeka to Wichita, Kansas on the governor's airplane. We were going down there for kind of a PR event, and some of the officials were kind of high up. I was very low level. And all that plane was just, we were up, we were down. It felt like we were falling 10 stories. We were over, we were this way. And it was so loud, you could not talk. And we were flying through a thunderstorm. And I just kept thinking the headline was going to say, government officials killed in airplane crash in Fielding, Kansas. I'm like, oh. So this is how I die. So this is how I die. And it's going to be a headline of, all the important people, and various other government officials, because I probably wouldn't even be important enough to be mentioned in the article. Anyway, we survived, and I hope that you guys do not have to take any turbulent plane trips this week. I hope you find some bargains, and I hope you get to spend time with people you love. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.